Okay, we've got lesson 10.2 in the purple book. We're working on AM and PM. How can we tell when to use AM and PM with time? So our first problem, Lauren's family is going hiking tomorrow at 7. How should Lauren write the time to show that they are going in the morning and not the evening? So I'm going to take a look at this problem, and I know that 7 is going to be important, so I'm going to circle it. And we're trying to figure out how to write the time that says they're going in the morning, not the evening. So we can use a number line to show the sequence or order of events and can help us understand the number of hours in a day. So how many hours are in a day? Well, there's 24 hours in a day. A day goes from midnight to midnight. So if we look here, we have 12 hours from midnight till noon, and then from noon till midnight. So those hours between midnight and noon, our morning hours, are AM, and our hours in the afternoon, so afternoon, but before midnight, are PM hours, afternoon or evening hours. So now telling time after midnight. Midnight is 12 o'clock at night. The times after midnight and before noon are written with an AM. So 7 o'clock in the morning is written as 7 o'clock AM. And if we look at our clock, we're going to go one whole time around where it's going to be AM and one whole time around where it's going to be PM. So in answer to our question up here, Lauren should write the hiking time as 7 o'clock AM. Now down here we've got an extra question. Find the mark that shows 7 AM on the number line above and circle the mark. So it gave us where 6 o'clock AM was, and we know that 7 is going to be 1 hour past it. So I'm going to put my dot right there and circle it. Good job. Okay, and we're going to flip. Now we're going to tell time after noon, hence afternoon. Callie's family is going for a canoe ride at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. How should Callie write the time? Well, we know it's 3 o'clock and we know it's in the afternoon. So noon is 12 o'clock in the daytime. The times after noon and before midnight are written with a PM. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon is written as 3 o'clock PM. And if we look over here, we have a whole time around the clock as PM, just like before we had a whole time as AM. So Callie should write the time as 3 o'clock PM. It's happening in the afternoon. So for share and show, name 2 things you do in the AM hours and 2 things you do in the PM hours. So I'm going to start with AM and PM. Here would be a great time to pause, go ahead and work through your share and show problems, then play it again, and we'll go through the answers. So AM, things you do in the AM. Well, you could wake up, eat breakfast. You could also do things like go to school, feed your dog breakfast. PM could be things like go to bed. We usually eat dinner. Lots of times PM is when we have sports practices, when we do things after school. Okay, write the time for the activity. Use AM or PM. Ride a bicycle. So if we look at our time, it's 4:20. And would we ride our bike at 4:20 AM? Probably not. It's still pretty dark then. So 4:20 PM. Making a sandwich. Our time is 11:34. And if we think about 11:34 PM, that would be just before midnight when we're in bed. So it's probably 11:34 AM, which is pretty close to noon, which is pretty close to lunchtime. Getting ready for bed, 8:12. I'm going to guess that that's PM, that you don't get ready for bed at 8:12 in the morning, so it's PM. We have one problem here. This morning, Sam woke up at the time shown on this clock. Write the time using AM or PM. So if we look at our clock, this one's kind of a little tricky because we can see our hand is just before the 8. And we know that it's almost 8 o'clock, but not quite, which means it's actually 7:53. Now, we know it's when he woke up. So is it AM or PM? It's AM. It's the morning. That's how we know he woke up. And actually, if I get to the right page here, right? Okay, we are on to the on your own. So you're going to go ahead, work through these problems front and back, and we will go over these answers the next time we meet. Hope you have a great day. Bye.